Do you support transformation?
Yes, Chief Justice, I support transformation, and I think we've proved it in our bar in the Free State that we are busy transforming and we're doing our utmost to do such whatever is necessary to transform.
As an SC, have you taken juniors, black juniors?
Yes, I have. I've had Seapi Mutlong as a black junior in our bar. I had Lungile Bomela. I had Lawrence Manye. I had Mene.
Thank you, Chief Justice. What will happen to our democracy if arms of the state were to second guess or deliberately ignore judgments?
What would happen
to our democracy if arms of the state, the judiciary, the executive and legislature were to second guess or deliberately ignore judgments?
Well, I think ultimately there would be a failure of democracy, I believe. I think that all, as a recent judgment said, all public office bearers are subject to the Constitution, and that includes judges. In other words, judges can't go beyond the powers given to them in the Constitution, and of course it includes the other organs of state, all of them.
Does it include politicians?
Oh yes.
Does it include ministers?
Yes.
Does it include president?
It includes everybody who lives in our country, Commissioner Malema.
Does it include president?
Yes.
Now, what happens if one of these categories act inconsistent with the Constitution or is in breach of the Constitution? What happens if a judge, a president, a minister, member of parliament, or any South African doesn't uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution?
Then they're subject to a declaration under Section 197 of the Constitution that there has been such a failure, and a court has the discretion to grant further relief relating to that person.
Can a court grant a relief that says this political figure is unfit to hold office on the basis that he failed to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution?
I would be surprised if a court would ever be in a position where it could go that far. I think the declaration of the situation and the setting aside of any actions taken pursuant to an unlawful use of power are as far as a court can go.
So the court can't declare an elected official unfit to hold an office?
I am not aware of any provision where that could happen.
Do you know the Similani case?
I have heard of the Similani case and I've read it, yes.
Do you know that the court declared him unfit to hold office?
Well, I'm not sure that formed part of the order. I think part of the reasoning said that, but the order itself did not go that far.
So a court can't declare an individual unfit to hold office?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Patuti, can you just give us both your business and political interest?
As we speak, and you see from my questionnaire that I was asked of my association with any political party, past and present, I've been open and mentioned the ANC, but the last time when I had associated myself actively was in 1995. That was when I served as the branch secretary, the first branch secretary of the ANC in Polokwane, which was one unit. That is the first thing. So I have lost a great deal of interest with the ANC. Secondly, that is political affiliation, let me say. I think that is political affiliation that has been raised. Secondly, business-wise, as an attorney, the attorney's profession is a business. It's run along business lines. But I've also disclosed in the questionnaire that I'm a non-executive director of a company called Abrina, which appears in the questionnaire. Now, I'm mindful of the fact that should I succeed, I'll have to relinquish my interest in any business whatsoever. I pause.
What does Sabrina do?
Abrina is not an active company. It was established or registered purely to explore or to seek prospecting of certain mineral resources. Now, it has not been able to translate itself into serious active business because of lack of funds by the investors. And so it is still running like a dormant company, so to speak. If you want to look into its assets, it has no assets, but it has liabilities because we have to pay CIPRO fees annually and so on and so forth. But as I say, it's a BEE company established to look into exploration of mineral resources in Limpopo.
So you've got interest in mines.
Yes, I do. As I speak, I do. Because I wouldn't say in mines in general, but I've got an interest in this company, Abrina, which deals with mining exploration. Now, the reason is, as a man...
He will ask for a reason if he needs it.
Oh, I apologize.
Now, post-1994, have you given any presentation to the ANC workshops on its constitution, purely ANC meetings, not government, not department? ANC, have you been to ANC events to workshop them about their own constitution or anything related to that? Because I've seen you in the ANC meeting post-1995.
Yeah, I have attended meetings, but not necessarily to give any lectures or to give any form of advice. I just attended like ordinary citizen. But then that does not mean that I was active in its structures of governance.
You terminated your membership with the ANC in 1995.
No, I said I ceased to be active in 1995.
But I've seen you in ANC meeting beyond 1995, and that is activism.
That's a matter of interpretation, whether one is a member or is merely a person who attended a meeting at a particular time. But I want to be clear and say that I've ceased to be active in the activities of the ANC since 1995. If you have seen me thereafter, it's fine. That does not derogate from the fact that I've ceased to be active.
Will it be correct for a judge to associate and socialize with politicians?
It wouldn't be correct because the moment one is appointed a judge.
You don't know what he wants to know. Mr. Commissioner Malema is very precise in asking questions. So if he puts a question to you, give an answer, he knows how to follow up.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's not correct.
Do you socialize or have friends in high places who are politicians?
Who are politicians? No.
Thank you.
I was expecting a bombshell.
Minister. Yes, thank you.
But
I must confirm my...
I know... how many staff members do you have in your office? Not in the group, your office?
In my staff, in my office, only one receptionist, and I use a typist. That's not permanently in my service. We, as a group, use the typist.
So how many are you in the office? You are 3. It's you, the PA, and the typist
Yes, the receptionist and the typist.
in your office.
Yes.
And then how many are black people?
The receptionist is a black woman.
Have you ever visited a township?
Yes.
Where?
When I was in Bophuthatswana, on many occasions we had to go into the townships.
Where? In
for
which
inspection
township in?
local. Garankuwa, Winterveld,
Can you speak any indigenous?
Mabopane.
Can you speak any indigenous language?
No.
Why?
Commissioner, I cannot give a reason for that.
I can't hear Chief
I
Justice.
cannot give you a reason why I cannot speak.
Yeah, have you ever seen any need to
African
learn
language.
indigenous languages?
Yes, I think it's a need to it will be a good thing to speak an African language.
But you still didn't see any need to learn it when you think it's a good thing to
No,
know.
I did not.
You didn't see any need to learn African language.
No, sir.
Do judges have a role to play when it comes to transformation?
Yes.
What role will you play to transform society as a judge?
Well, so maybe to give you an example, I've attached a letter or email to my application form where a black woman appeared in my court in an opposed matter, and she appeared in person. And I've guided her right through the proceedings. And at the end of the day, I ruled in her favor. And she wrote a comment to the judge president. Maybe I can, if I can refer to that document. It was, the lady was Busizwe Maduna. She wrote that, "Your Lordship, please allow me," and this is a letter that was, email that was addressed to the Judge President. "Your Lordship, please allow me to extend my sincere gratitude to the High Court and in particular Judge J.J. Strydom for the assistance given in my legal case." This lady was not represented, as I said, she appeared in person. By way of introduction, I'm a layman in terms of the law, but still represented myself at the High Court recently. I'm a black female, and this was my first time defending myself in a court as a plaintiff. I certainly did not have the correct terminology or know-how of when to even sit or stand. However, the judge and his team guided me through. I was also grateful to some of the advocates showing me Ubuntu and informing me of what to do and when through whispers and hand gestures. Judge J.J. Strydom was courteous on all accounts. And then she ended up by saying that I'm also grateful that Judge J.J. Strydom allowed me to represent myself as I could not afford to have counsel representation. This is the type of compassion that can make a significant contribution to making our society right, in at least understanding that we can have access to resources such as the courts with neither fear nor retribution due to a history of economic exclusion.
Do you support transformation?
Definitely, yes.
How does your appointment help us to transform the judiciary?
So as I've already said, the I'm in favor of transformation, as you, but I cannot say how my appointment will
No, no,
help transformation.
you support transformation, therefore you can't be subjective. In supporting transformation, you ought to tell us now, how does appointing you help to transform the judiciary, since you are a supporter of transformation?
No, sir, I don't know.
It doesn't help us, right? Appointing you doesn't help us to transform the judiciary, am I right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Emphasizing that women of substance, like the women we have here and the many women that we have in Limpopo.
Judge Homo, I will ask you to repeat what you said about women of substance, about BMW and Benz. Please repeat that.
Oh, yes. I was saying, maybe I may have put it the wrong way. I was saying the many women who I've seen entering the profession as attorneys, mostly, didn't last. After they finished their articles, they would always be offered positions in the civil service. And normally the positions that they got, say, were positions where they were going to be entitled as a norm to expensive motor vehicles, which I thought maybe it was an enticement that was impoverishing the attorney's profession. With a sense, at the end of the day, Honorable Commissioner Malema, that lady who has gone to the civil service in that position in the legal advisory section of a department is lost to the profession. When the time comes for us to look for women who can come and act and gain experience, she's not there because she is in the civil service, not as a magistrate, not as a prosecutor. That is what actually happened. We have lost a lot of very capable young women who are comfortable now and ensconced in very cushy positions in the civil service. Whereas if they were on the ground...
Judge Homo,
yes.
it would help us a great deal if you could just focus on the question
Yes.
put to you and answer it as briefly as possible.
Thank
if they
you.
need elaboration,
Thank you,
they
sir.
will say so.
Thank you.
Don't volunteer it, please.
Thank you very much, sir.
Judge Homo,
Yes,
it
sir.
is becoming more difficult for me sitting here, listening to judges who are supposed to lead by example, becoming spinners at the same time. You don't have to spin anything. I'm asking you to repeat the sexist remark you made, that women of substance are not in the profession because they went to opportunities that provide Mercedes-Benz and BMW, creating an impression that women are after material things such as BMW and Mercedes-Benz. Is that not a sexist statement?
Sir, Honorable Commissioner, it was not meant to be a sexist statement. It was meant to be a factual statement of what actually happens on the ground. Not that I was putting aspersions, casting aspersions on the women. It is happening where we have lost younger women who has gone into the civil service and are lost to the professions. That's all I meant, not as a sexist statement.
But you are repeating it. You are saying it's a fact that women chase material.
Not that
You're
they are-
saying it's a fact. It's not a fact that women are chasing BMW and Mercedes-Benz. That's a sexist statement.
No, sir. What I'm saying about it being a fact is that it is so that after qualifying, instead of remaining in the profession where we can pick on them, we normally lose them to the civil service where they cannot be brought back into the...
And then the younger generation, what is your view about mentoring and upbringing of younger people in the profession?
The younger generation, it is our duty, it's my duty as an experienced member of the profession, sir, to mentor any younger people that are there, like they are doing. Every now and then, they will always call upon me, and I would always help them with whatever things they need in the process of building them up in the profession, and I've done that regularly.
So if we find a young person, don't you think this JP is capable enough with the experience he has to mentor that young person to become one of the best so that that young person can continue the legacy which you at the JP can leave?
Honorable Councillor Malema say, through the chair and this honorable commission, it is so that it may be correct what the honorable councillor is saying, but the fact remains, I believe that the JP needs me at the moment because most of the time as the head of the court, he is absent from the court. It needs, as this court is studying now, it needs somebody like me who will be on the ground mentoring these younger people who are there, either as acting judges or some of the already appointed members of the judiciary.
Let me just simplify it, CJ. Is the JP experienced and capable enough to can mentor any young person to become one of the best JPs we have in the country? Let's not talk about you, just
Yes.
your view about the capacity and the capabilities of our current JP to mentor a young person and make sure that that person becomes one of the best judges in the country.
Perfectly, Honorable Commissioner. Our JP is very capable of doing that job. The only disadvantage is that he is not on the ground mostly.
Let me just interject here. What do you mean by that, Judge Khomo? I'm the head of the judiciary and head of the Constitutional Court. I'm on the ground. And
Yes.
I have reason to believe that since I'm in charge of also the magistracies around the country,
Yes.
I am busier than the JP, and yet I'm on the ground for the judges at the Constitutional Court,
Yes,
even those who are acting. Why would the JP not be available to mentor judges? What does he do that takes him away from his core responsibility?
No, nothing takes him away from his core responsibilities, Honorable Chair.
Why would he not be there to mentor them?
That's why I say he is capable of doing that job of mentoring.
No,
Honorable
no,
Chair.
you say you would be the prime minister. I don't know why you like this political title. You would be the prime minister while he's busy with other things. What is it that he would be busy with? And where?
I only meant, Honorable Chair, that by the term Prime Minister, maybe it's an unfortunate term. It is because I will be most of the time in the court, either in Polokwane or Thohoyandou, wherever the JP would have posted me, and doing the work, and acting to assist him.
No, let's
in-
clarify it. I don't want an impression to be created that JPs are all over the shore, away from where they should be.
Yes.
What is it that you think would take him away from the seat of court?
Now, the only thing that would take him away, Honorable Chair, is when he goes for these occasional meetings.
Yeah.
Like
which ones?
Like this one, Honorable Chair.
And which other one?
Like the heads of court meetings.
Which happens twice in a year.
That is correct. Yeah,
So
that
why
is-
would he not be available to mentor?
He will be available, but
Oh.
he will be available.
All right.
Maybe it is an unfortunate
Oh, I thought
choice of words.
I thought I had to clear that. Commissioner Malema.
Thank you, sir.
Do you admit that you are making the second unfortunate statement?
Yeah, it is a mistake, Honorable Chair.
And
Malema.
that can lead to lack of judgment.
I leave it to the able decision of this Honorable.
I'm not interviewing this honorable committee, I'm interviewing you.
Honorable
Don't you
Malema,
think the statement on women, Benz and BMW, and casting aspersion on the JP and creating an impression that it's an absent JP, is a serious misjudgment?
yes, from what I have learned and after the guidance from the Chief Justice, I realized it was an error on my part, and I really am sorry for that.
Even the women's statement was also an error on your part.
Yes, it was not meant to be as it has come out and how Honorable Commissioner has analyzed it. It was an innocent statement which could have some double-edged sword, and I regret it.
You know, let me tell you before other commissioners put questions to you what concerns me. The statement you made in relation to your